Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for fanning. Today we're not doing running of model trains or anything. Today we're going to talk about model trains and all this tariff situation for today's live video episode. Tariff is basically where shipments from global like China, Japan, and obviously some say Japan's less than China. And I would say, for my opinion, turf is pretty much a sad situation for all of the small business needs like skill trains, Walters, Atlas, Bachman. Well, Bachman's based in Philadelphia, so didn't know that till then. And then Athearn Genesis. It's a very sad situation for all of the model railroad industries are suffering to have turfs increasing to 145% of the increase. It's like basically, if it's like, for example, Broadway Limited, Big Boy, costs about, as for example, $800. If it's plus the 145%, that pays $1,000. That is impossible for people like us, people like myself, and you get model railroads, collecting model railroads. That is almost too impossible. Sad to say that President Trump is, all this is an opinion to myself, so it is very sad situation for turf situation for any other industries that is get products from China, medical and all the technology is based in China. But let's just say that wish them a good luck and having support, and eventually get this yeah. Hi, Hunter Stewart Hobbies. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me as talk about this situation, about this effective of this one of world's most greatest hobby. CSX Girlfriend, hi, welcome. Talk about the turf situation. Like, for example, this is from Athearn Genesis, and you know what's made out of. Some electronics parts are made in China. And this tough situation is getting a lot of people. So President Trump decided to do the, and hello, Roman Oil Color Production. So yeah, it's infecting this model trains, since all this stuff is made in China. Like this metal, this from China manufacturing. Just like scale trains, the president of scale trains saying, if they it'll be a quarter $250 million to find a factory in the United States. Some say it's a lot cheaper, but saying if that ever happens, it'll run So yeah, it is very serious. I don't know why Trump decided to do the tariff. It's because of this China war. Oh, not war. China trade war. Some people say it's good because China's paying us for imports and all that. Like, if I flip the camera over, like, look at this. This is all amazing detailed. Some of them are budget friendly, like this one's budget friendly. This one's a little bit budget friendly since there's no details, like some details. Um, this one's more expensive. This one's a dummy, but it's still a little bit of detail. This one's from Mikado, which is, yeah. And most of all of that, all of this rolling stocks. Like some of them are from Genesis, some of them are older company. Some of them are Walters Proto, Walters Mainline. I'm sad to say that the turf situation it's getting out of control for all model railroads like myself and you guys, a train enthusiast. That Trump should cancel the turf because, like I said, we need the products like medical stuff, TVs, even toys that is made in China. But right now, this one's made in Finland, so this is good. Matchbox is pretty good. But this is the Class 1 Model Works stuff. One and only Class 1 Model Works. I'm not sure their manufacturer's China. I could be wrong, but still. Sad to say about this stuff. Been wanting to collect more trains and been wanting to collecting more trains for a hobby, but as Trump decided to do the turfs to 148% tax. Not, is it tax or something like that? Turf. For any pre-orders and all that. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to pre-order from a actual manufacturer. I usually get them from a local hobby shops and train shows. Make it more cheaper than buying the stuff online. Yes, online is pretty. Online, plus online. And yes, online is pretty much for some of you a pretty good thing, but as my opinion to myself, it's sometimes it needs to calm down and hopefully. And then here's the scale trains. Hopefully get some more of the scale trains locomotive from Cheer-Free Gevos to some scale train stuff like the rolling stocks I have from them, scaletrains.com, and some online retailers like Broadway Limited Imports. it's pretty crazy stuff in a situation like this. True Trains, thank you for subscribing down below. Welcome, welcome. Glad. And then let's do let's do questions that everyone has. Comment below if you have any questions in all the situation that is going. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, question 1 for me. Were you able to collect more trains in this turf situation? For me, I've been modeling since my dream is have a model trains as a kid growing up, but I finally able to do so. Back of 2024, I decided to have one set, which is my first locomotive, which I'll show you. About a year ago. Not very long, but this is my first model train. This is actually came from a set of the model trains, which is from Bachmann. Yeah, this is from Bachmann. And the question is how can this little locomotive to collect from this to this locomotive to this adhesive? Yes, sir, it is Bachmann. This is Bachmann EMD F7. So, yes, I do. I have plenty of Athearn Genesis for my. I have Athearn Genesis Detroit Toledo Ironton Hopper. That's Genesis. That's a Genesis. Yeah, I think so too. This one's the Athearn Genesis. Where is what's that? And then there it is. And these two are both from Athearn Genesis. This is from Athearn Genesis. And then this one is I think is Genesis 2. So yes, I do have Genesis. I have a Canadian National Southern Pacific Heritage Unit. Yeah, I know. A lot of details. And then this one's ready to roll. So that's why I love them. This one's from Bachmann. This was from a train show. I'm not sure what brand that is from. That one's the Walters Proto. The one I have is, I got the, like I said, Detroit Toledo Ironton Hopper cars from Genesis. This one's ready to roll. Conrail Athearn ready to roll. And I think this one's ready to roll too, the bulkhead flocker car. And then True Drains, thank you very much for the kind words, and I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I do live once a week whenever I'm free, whenever I'm taking a break from rail fanning and all that. So check out the rail fanning videos. Feel free to check out my other videos for rail fanning from CSX and always from Norfolk Southern. Yep. Simply put it back right to tripod. This tripod is driving me crazy. So yeah. So that's what the situation's all about, basically. The turf situation. And oh, you got a Dash 9? Well, I have a Dash 9 too, which is the GP40. I have a Sue that is GP38. I think. Yep. Me too. I have GP42 that is Bachmann. Sue. I have a Sue that is made out of Bachmann. That's cool. So this one's from Bachmann. I wonder this turn thing will affect. Yeah, that's true. I have a lot of trains, but eventually I'll want some more, like more modern day stuff, since I have plenty of classic railroad stuff, like Conrail, Southern Pacific, Chicago Northwestern. So I need like modern day stuff, like take this for example, like Gevos. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a long one. Yeah. Yeah, it has a fire department right there. That's law enforcement, spirit of law enforcement. But eventually I'll have CSX 911, which is the honors our first responders. CSX 911. So, yeah. So yeah. So yeah. That's what I have for my layout. Yeah. I started my YouTube channel back in 2021 during COVID. During COVID-19 pandemic. And then yeah. And then yeah, my channel is starting to grow. All thanks to all of the subscribers. All the subscribers that subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thank you for make everything possible. makes everything possible for me to do filming trains for you guys. Make everything possible. Anyways, so yeah, that's the after and ready to roll. Well, I'm gonna stop the train for a second, but this is the old school. I think these is like code 100 tracks. I couldn't remember, but this is what the here. This is what the tracks looks like. This is from Atlas. So that's what the tracks looks like for Atlas. But before all of this, but before that, I still have it, but this is all the tracks I used to use. This is the Bachmann Easy track, a lot cheaper than Kato Unitrack. So yeah. Other than that, got an old school Tyco transformer with an old school Atlas. Yep, I used the black one too, both black and gray, nickel silver, and these ones. Yep. Of course, I put them for some of them I use for my steam locomotive display. Some of them I use for the steam locomotive display. Some of them are yard, like abandoned tracks. Some of them it's just used to travel with me. Sometimes I travel with me, depending where I go. So yeah. So that's all the situation that is going on throughout the turf situation for me to continue this hobby. But no, I'm not saying I'm not gonna quit the model train hobby. No. I'm just saying I don't live in Canada. I don't live in Canada, so I live in the United States, but I don't live in Canada. Eventually, I'll give Canada a visit. Probably Ralph and Canadian Pacific and Canadian National Alliance. Yeah, that's for the collection of the flags. I also love flags too. It's been a long time since I've been collecting flags, but still, I just love flags in general. It just fascinates me. Oh, you live in Nashville. I have a great uncle who lives not far from Nashville. City of Gallatin. He lives in Gallatin, Tennessee. My great uncle. And I have been to Nashville a couple of times, which is very fun. Anyways, what train should I run? There you go. nice and connected. Remove the zoo line. Yes, I do. I have a Norfolk Western 1192, a Union Pacific. That works. The Norfolk Western one doesn't work. It looks like it got the derailment. Lovely. Got yourself a derailment. And then of course I got there you go. And of course there's my unicorn head. And of course there's the couple more. You got this one. This one, which is the dummy unit. And then there's the Dana, which is, this guy is made in 1990s. This is made in the 90s, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I have a couple of steam locomotives, which I hardly want it as much since I don't have like a. Eventually, I'll use them as the excursion train, but I don't have a passenger cars that has the horn hooks. Yes, I do. Well, not starters. I don't have starter sets, but I have this. I use this as a starter set. As it tracks and start for you. A controller and all that. Other than that, I don't have an actual Bachmann starter set. And of course, you got the. Yes, it is. And of course, you got the Scale Train product, which is the train derail. 41,000 crude oil tank car. So yeah, I have a couple of stuff like Athens, Walter's main line, Athens Blue Box. Can run the Dash 8s. I'll try to find one. I don't think that's a Dash 8. This one's a dummy unit, unfortunately, so that doesn't run. But I don't have I don't have a Dash 8, but I do have Dash 9, which is the number 8627. I can run that, but again, I have to remove my Canadian National SD70M-2, which plus I've seen that unit many times, so that's why I got the model of it. I haven't seen the 4194 yet when I will do rail fanning, but eventually I'll do it. I'll find one soon. Whenever I'm on the track side. GP15. I need to grab my iPad real quick. I'll be right back. I need to grab my iPad so that way I can do some little bit of research. You know what? Let's just switch the locomotive on one to Durrell Y. Unexpectedly when I'm not in round. Let's do CSX 4194. by Skill Trains. So yeah, there's Skill Trains 3194, made by Skill Trains. And that's the only Skill Trains I have for right now. I'll be back. I'm going to mute the microphone real quick. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so this one is a GP50. I have a GP50 right there, 7090 free. I think this is GP50 as well. Let me check again. 4634. That's a GP59. Now this one's a GP59. That was GP40. This one's GP38. And 2003 is GP9M. Unfortunately, I don't have GP15. Model. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have GP15 for the HO scale, but eventually, I'll get one and use that as the like a railroad switcher, like for the branch line. But yeah, other than that, eventually I want to get that. So I'm not sure what railroad company and what number I want, but soon I'll get that. Soon. Okay, why are you train driven CSX 3194? I said earlier that I'm not gonna run it, but as for you guys, what the heck? I'm gonna run the trains. Yeah, why not? Yeah, eventually. Okay. There we go. Let's see, it's like 31.94. Yep, that's my CSX 3194, and the only CSX branded, made by Scale Trains. One the only Scale Trains. That I have too many to count. Like, I have older ones, like Tyco old. This is oldie. I have an oldie, and then I got the Virginian shell. This one a boxcar. That is the lifelike. This is the lifelike. And then this one's the. Oh, there you go. There's one's made in China. That's made in China, and then this is not a car or anything. This is just a New York Central padlock. Back in the day of the railroading, they used the padlock for boxcars and all that. So this is pretty ancient, but it works just fine. And then it has the skeleton key with it. Another good old skeleton. Drop my Easter egg. Easter egg. If I've seen some of those in the movie. Yep. Skeleton key for it. Pretty original. And then, of course, I got the Dana. Which is the, again, 90s. And then I got and this one's Bachmann. I think the EMDE 8 or something like that. That's made in Hong Kong. It even has a chrome, which is makes it shiny, which is pretty cool and see that. And then I got more of the rolling stocks that came from. You got this Burlington Northern, Indiana North Eastern Railroad. What are they common? What? What? Burlington Northern? This car? What you saying? Oh, the Bachmann? Yes, they're pretty common. Some are common, some are rare. Considered rare because Bachmann's back in then. Bachmann has like before they approved the model. The Bachmann decided to has the less details and budget friendly. This one's missing the windshield. So Other than that, I'd be consider it common for most model railroads like you and me. Um, like not as good detail as scale trains, but other than that, I think, in my opinion, I think they approved the model pretty fantastic. Like this is the GP40 locomotive. They pretty did a pretty did fantastic um pretty fantastic model for the Sioux line. Same thing with the rolling stock here. Like this one's, for example, that's the it has the metal reels, which is I like to use. So pretty cool. Yes, I consider it common, but they approved the model, so that's a plus. Like these are the starter set, like Pennsylvania Gongola, Lehigh Valley Gongola, Burlington Route, reefer card, the mechanical reefer cars, and then the Texaco tank. Metal wheels are, for me, I think metal wheels are pretty more efficient than plastic wheels because plastics gets too dirty too easy and makes it more difficult for us to clean tracks with plastic wheels over metal wheels. But plus, it makes more sound than plastic. Like, yes, that too, and realistic. Like, I'm going to move all the train cars. Hello, OK 1000. Welcome, welcome. And yes, I agree with you. I like Athearn Genesis too. They're a pretty expensive model, but something from like I say, if it's a good detail model, they're cost more expensive. Like for, anyways, whoops, grain cart just exploded. Whoopee. Like this, for example, this is the Big Blue CSX hopper. This is not a hopper car. This is the Big Blue box car, which I bought from a train show a couple of months ago. And especially on the diamond, like, listen to this. Like, you can barely hear the clicky clack sound from a plastic wheel. It's genetic plastic wheel. Plus, if I, a little lightweight, you can barely hear it. You can hear it is the rolling sound of the rolling stock, but for example, like this one, the Walters Proto, again, metal wheel, more details than mainline metal wheels, and then this is a sound difference. Plus, other than that, does not make this. It does make sound of the crosses the diamond, but it rolls pretty smooth too. Like, it rolls pretty smooth. versus the plastic wheel. Like, here's the plastic wheel version. Does not roll very far as the Walter's Proto Gingola car. So yeah, I just very agree with you. Oh, I'll try to, like, I recently switched out from the Detroit Toledo Ironton shell, the switch the wheels of the Detroit Toledo Ironton shell and all that. And I use that, reuse, recycle. Switch it from the plastic wheels into metal wheels. Since plus it has rotating bearing caps, which is the bonus. Yeah. Just like scale trains, just like Athearn, scale trains has rotating bearing caps too. For cars, the rivet counter. Caboose 1973, channel 1, GH1. Hello. Hello, welcome to the layout, guess I'll call it, layout, update and chit chat. That would be apparently that's the thing. Since I'm done talking about the tariff situation, no, you're not new. You were new back when I did the first live stream. So nice try, CSX 3190. Wait, CSX. Nice try. I almost said this locomotive. I almost said your name, locomotive of the 3194 CSX rail fan. Whoops. So this table itself is very old. You got the wires over there. Got an old school transformer made by Tyco. And then the Atlas switching. And then the thing about this guy, look at this. There's a train car right there. I now know locomotive are in there right now, which is good. Turn on full. Boom. If it's century old, it still works. Look at that. It works in either direction. Pretty cool. Yes, it is. Yes, it is for a century old. Since it has the bronze wheel that helps the electric current. Helps the electric currents from the tracks to power it up. Kind of like it did in the locomotive. So yeah. Then they got the CP rail boxcar. For today's video, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.